Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to take a look at the superpower behind the mask, Mighty Mask. So this is the TEQ Super Strike Mighty Mask. Obviously Super Strike event revamp for Mighty Mask, the first one on global. He was Dokkan Awakened and Easy Aid at the same time, which I never really like because it kind of prevents a unit from having a longer curve at the top. But hey, we're here and we can't change it. So he's an AGL and tech type lead of Key +3 and attack and defense is 70%. He will raise his attack and defense for one turn, cause supreme damage to the enemy and greatly lower their defense. He has attack and defense of 100% plus an additional attack and defense of 50% when performing a super. He also gains an additional defense of 50% and a medium chance of evading the enemy's attacks, including super attacks, when facing only one enemy, and he gains an additional attack of 50% and launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when facing 2 or more enemies. In terms of link set, he's got the Innocence, World Tournament Reborn, Super Saiyan, Bombardment, Super Strike, Blazing Battle, and Shattering the Limit. Probably objectively one of the worst, or yeah, pretty much one of the worst link sets in the game. And he's only on World Tournament and Majin Buu Saga as his categories. Now, in terms of his passive, it does end up being quite a lot when you, work and go through everything. So I think it's quite good. Like facing one enemy, he'll gain 50% when he fires a super attack. He'll gain a further 50%. He'll gain a medium chance of evading the enemy when facing only one enemy, which is all good. Very solid defensive abilities. And then when he's facing multiple enemies, he'll be good from a offensive standpoint. It's very important to take note that in terms of build, I do think crit is the best build in total. I think that crit is the best way to go for him. It results in him having, the best level of defense, the best level of, actual, or not defense, sorry, the best level of offense. It promotes his additional attacks in the offensive setting, and in terms of fighting a single enemy, he has enough defense along with the evasion. That's like the best section, I think. Just works best for him. In terms of link set, his biggest issue is finding a consistent partner. He has plenty of partners that share his 3 major skills, which are Super Saiyan, Shattering the Limit, and the Innocence. Lots of Goten and Trunks units, which is great. Only issue is everything else. War Tournament Reborn, not great at all. Bombardment, not great at all. Super Strike, not great at all. Blazing Battle, not too great either. So yeah, pretty limited on that front. But barring link set, the unit looks pretty good. I like the passive. Attack and defense of 100% is pretty solid. An additional attack and defense of 50% when performing a super attack does mean that you do want to preferably place them in, place him, them, Mighty Mask, they, them. Maybe you want to place they, them in the second slot there because of that additional defense gain, but 100% defense is pretty good. They do obviously have that additional defense that will only proc on their super as well, and you'll also have that medium chance of evasion as well, which is pretty decent when facing only one enemy. So they are quite defensively sound in single enemy events. For multiple enemy events, they are more of an offensive entity with that additional attack and also that launching of an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. So they do have that increased offensive ability. Because of this, I do, like I said a bit earlier, I do think building them crit is the best way to go. You can maximize the offense in situations where they're facing multiple enemies, and you can also obviously just maximize their damage in general. They don't really lower attack or anything, they don't stack defense for multiple turns. So maybe if you want one turn of raising attack and defense, I guess you could. But honestly, there's no real need to. I don't think it's entirely necessary. I think, they function relatively fine. I think the biggest issue with them, limited categories and just their link set. Their link set is is nasty. Super Strike, not common at all. It's only for Super Strike units, obviously. Bombardment, again, similar thing. Just not a great link set. It's got like 4 or 5 units that honestly have it. It's just not great. Only Super Strike units will, have the Super Strike link. Bombardments, really uncommon. And I mean, it's like, what do you have? Who can use it? I'm surprised. Obviously, it's Mighty Mask because they're standing together. They entered the adult tournament, but them being on youth would have helped them out quite a bit, I think. Bombardment is also a Super Strike unit link, so that is something. Like some of them will have that link set, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, overall World Tournament Reborn, not a great link either. Really average. Other Mighty Mask units have it, but the LR Goten and Trunks have it fall off, so that's not great. LR Pan, I guess. So, but again, just not a great link set. But we can see they're putting up some decent numbers. Good attack stats in the 2 million range, which is really nice. This is obviously their best, I would say, defensive situation. Their defense is looking pretty solid as well. This is their best defensive situation, whereas obviously if we fought multiple enemies, it would be their best offensive situation, but we can take a look at that when we review them in an SBR or something. Overall, I think it's a good first Super Strike Awakening in Easy A. I think it was worth the effort. It wasn't too hard. About 240 stamina or so. It really wasn't too difficult. The challenges were quite fun. The event itself was pretty decent. But yeah, definitely was, I think, good. I think they're a good step for the Super Strike units. I think they could be a little bit better, considering how limited this one specifically was. We'll see when it comes to Super Strike units that maybe aren't so limited, but I definitely think when you have a unit that's only on 2 categories, you can afford to kind of make them a little bit busted. I think it always makes it fun. But no, they're good. Remember that all that additional defense is going to stack up quite a bit. 50% defense on super, then raising defense by 30% on the super attack is all going to really boost their defense beyond the 200k mark, which is very good. A medium chance to evade as well, so a great second slot damage dealing unit, and I think that's fantastic. The real question is whether Mighty Mask as a unit is worth your orb investment, and I don't think Mighty Mask is worth the orb investment. I think he's definitely he's a decent unit, but I just don't think he's there in terms of the necessary strength for you to invest orbs in, at least not right now. Maybe if he was a perfect linking partner for AGL, LR, Goten and Trunks, maybe if he was like that way inclined, I would say he's worthwhile if you have those units. Otherwise, I think it's best to just leave this unit on the sidelines. You can use him if you want to, or if you need him. He'll be come in handy for certain events and World Tournament for sure. He's a great unit for that team. But unless you specifically like Mighty Mask, I think his limited link set and limited categories just means that he's not going to be a viable option right now for orb investments and just for utilization. Nothing wrong with the unit. I think the unit's construct is more than fine, but I just think with a lack of linking partners, he's not great. Maybe when we get a standard form, like they Super Saiyan under this Mighty Mask, it would have been great if they'd had like Mighty Mask normal or Mighty Mask Super Saiyan, and they shared like 4 or 5 links, and then you'd have a really good time. Maybe we'll get a Mighty Mask duo or something, or an exchange unit into a Mighty Mask, or anything along those lines. But for now, it's just not really worth it. If we go through his link set, like I said, link set wise, not a particularly powerful unit, not exceptional really in any specific way. The Innocence, World Tournament Reborn, Super Saiyan, Bombardment, Super Strike, Blazing Battle, and Shattering the Limit. Out of those links, you obviously want to focus on Shattering the Limit the most. It's his main key link. It's pretty much his only major key link, barring World Tournament Reborn. which actually isn't a key link. So there we go, it's his only key link. So you will need Shattering the Limit. You could see there we did struggle for key when we didn't have a support or anything. We were struggling. So Shattering the Limit will be good. Super Saiyan's a very common link, and the Innocence is okay. It's on a lot of Goten, Gotenks, and Trunks units. So the Innocence is fairly common. You can use those combination of units. Shattering the Limit, the Innocence, Super Saiyan, and all of those should really come together quite nicely and should be able to help you. So that's a nice combo of units, nice selection of units. This LR, Goten, and Trunks do share 3 links with them, which is okay. Like I said, not the ideal pairing, but decent. 3 links is more than fine. They share 3 links with these Goten and Trunks Super Saiyan units, who are also very good. So there is options for this Mighty Mask, just not exceptional ones. But he's still decent. He's just limited. He's only on Majin Buu Saga, so not got a great selection of teams. If he was on Youth or something, he might see a bit more playtime. Overall, a very good unit that's just hindered by his ability to be selected, basically. That's really about it. You can see the Trunks we paired them up with, they share quite a few links, which is nice. But obviously they don't share that Shattering the Limit link, which isn't great. It doesn't help them out that much. So yeah, I would say that's about it in terms of Mighty Mask. I don't really think there's anything too much to take note of. And yeah, overall he's a good unit that's just a little bit handicapped. But yeah, I think that covers everything we need to cover. Let me know what you guys think about Mighty Mask. Are you using Mighty Mask? Do you plan on using him? What do you think about just the Super Strike Easy A's in general? Like, do you think this is good for Dokkan to do? What Super Strike units do you wish they would do? I personally would like a King Cold. I think King Cold would be great. And I think he'd be awesome as a Super Strike unit, just to add to the Wicked Bloodlines team and kind of just flesh them out a little bit. But yeah, that's it from me. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or leave a comment and I'll try and reply back. And as always, stay safe, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. But bye.